Computer there.
uh, bottom center.
Go. Yep.
How is my hair? Not too. How is
You
my hair?
look
Not too messy.
great.
I'm good.
No, your hair looks fantastic. I love it. Let me know who your stylist is.
Thank you. The, the yeah, the part that I'm mostly concerned is the back. Anyways, let's get going. Okay.
The
Three,
ponytail,
two,
but
one.
got a ponytail that I can't see, right?
The ponytail, but it's
Okay. Well, look, you got a very nicely
all
shaped
right.
head.
Three,
It's a good
two, one.
look. Stay with it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Three, two, one. Let's go. Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders podcast. Today, I am bringing back one of my very best friends that I've got the pleasure, and she, she came and she shared a story. Phenomenal lady from Philadelphia, and wow, what a story she has! She's one of the most beautiful, art-centered people in the world. She's traveled around the world, lived around the world, doing good, helping others, among others, working back in the Soviet Union, you know, helping people there. And now she's been doing a lot of good things. She's been hosting a lot of events. We connected about a year and a half ago, doing an event she was hosting on burn survivors,
Mhm.
if I remember
Yeah.
the title correctly.
Life
And
beyond trauma.
then she
That's
came
it.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. And then we reconnected again recently, and then she's just did another event, and now she's preparing for her TEDx talk. And also, I'm honored that she's going to be part of my volume number 2 of my Lead with Heart book. The title is "What is Your Gift? How are you sharing your gift around the world in this lifetime?" And speaking of gifts, she's an absolutely amazing gift herself. There's a lot of things we can talk about. Anais, welcome back to the show, my dear friend.
You. It's nice to be here. It's always nice to see you and to chat.
Pleasure's all mine. Pleasure's all mine. Before we even start, tell us, how are you doing today?
This has been a wonderful day. It's been a day of rest. It's been a day of integration because I dove into all new technology yesterday in the summit that I was speaking at as a keynote. And it was, your nervous system just needs time to adjust and adapt. So today, after time with family yesterday, I was just like, today, we're just going to do absolutely nothing. Nothing. No doing. No doing allowed today.
Beautiful, beautiful. Before we start talking about the beautiful topic we have at hand today, tell us, for people who don't know you, over and beyond the very little introduction I gave you, who's Anais as a person, as a human being, as a woman, and as a leader?
Well, I did write a book about that because there's a lot to unpack, but from the time I was pretty young, I had a very strong sense of empathy and compassion and caring for others. I took on a leadership role in elementary school. The first time I was elected president of my class was in third grade, and then it was
Mm-hmm.
third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, and I became very proactive with the children in my class when one year we had a very, very difficult, hostile, toxic teacher. And she was really doing damage in the class. And I took it upon myself to lead and go down and ask for a meeting with our principal and sit down and have a heart to heart with him to ask him to please help us because what was going on in the classroom, I was sure wouldn't be what he wanted to have happen with the teacher. And we were suffering. He actually listened and did something about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a great personal cost to me that worked out, but it was a really interesting exercise in how do we communicate? How do we let people know that we are in it to win it, to change it so everybody wins, not just one or two. And then that just kept developing over the course of my life. And I've been very fortunate. Did well in school, won a scholarship to college, married very early, right after high school sweetheart, and then just launched myself into life. Just here we go, here we go. And learning. What is this thing we call love for ourselves, for humanity, for other people, for family, for strangers, for friends, for our bodies, for what we bring into the world, the gifts that we have? What is all of that? What is it? I spent a lot of time moving into that. And then my leadership transitioned into needing to heal myself of a devastating diagnosis for me. I was diagnosed with secondary infertility at 23. It was purely functional. It wasn't anything that I had done. In fact, I had tried to correct the situation that developed, that made that develop, and doctor wouldn't listen. And I ended up being guided from within to completely heal that. When I was assured, great, people, no surgery is going to take care of this. It's not going to happen. I'm like, okay. And then a few years after that, I did conceive another child, gave birth to another child. And then when he was a toddler, he developed juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. And once again, that was presaged for me. I had information come through here to let me know to get ready for that about a day and a half before he actually got sick. And through that entire journey that he and I took together, all that I needed to do, the entire relationship, exactly what I needed to do, the attitude I needed to hold, down to the vitamins that I ground up in a mortar and pestle and mixed up with applesauce to give him and gave him with a hand puppet. And then the doctors, and then discovering that what was at the root of this was actually an allergic reaction to milk. Took him off all milk products, got the okays from the doctors, and 4 months later, he was completely healed and hasn't had a problem with it since. All of that came from inside. All of it.
Mm.
And so, the saying, physician, heal thyself. And then when you're beginning to use a gift with other people, it's absolutely critical to keep the compassion, but do no harm. Do no harm. So things went on like that. And then I had other opportunities to be creative and to just meet these intersections where life just kept bringing me, do this, learn this, carry on, don't be shy. Okay, we've got some interesting technical things coming in. I think Payman will be back in a minute. He might have gone away. I could stop talking, but that's what my life is about. He asked me to say, who am I as a person? So you now know that I'm a healer. I'm a healer, not a cheerleader. I don't cheerlead people into nursing them along their capacity to choose to change. I'm a healer, and that takes many forms. And I'm so fortunate to have the ability to be clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, and to use that in a way that does no harm. It doesn't mislead people. It doesn't guide them into places they wouldn't want to go to be their best and do their best. So I was so fortunate to develop this work and then to begin to teach it, and then to have the opportunity to work in the Soviet Union with burn patients and pediatric cancer patients, and Payman's back. And so you can look at my YouTube channel if you want to know more. But that's who I'm also.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I just kept talking.
Wait, let me just pause this. I am absolutely sorry. I don't know what happened. My internet connection has been unstable for no reason. I'm going to talk. Right now it's 7:28 a.m. As soon as, the landlord wakes up, I'm going to go to his door and say, listen, you need to fix the internet because I need that for my work. I'm terribly sorry that we get disconnected and I lost you. And
well, it's being
let's resume. Let's resume.
Yeah, I just
On your end, yes, but not on mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I
so
just talked.
okay, if it's recorded on your end, you just send it to me. Okay, let's
I will.
resume. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm gonna resume and we just okay. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Oh, wait. Let me just stop this. Okay. So I'm gonna resume, and if you can kindly just repeat what you were saying just before you get disconnected.
I was
Okay.
just
Do you
finishing up.
remember?
Yeah, I was just finishing up.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
And don't worry,
Okay.
I will patch everything after. Yeah. Okay. All right. I really apologize for that. Thank you.
Okay.
The joys of technology.
This
All
is
right.
what
Let's
happens. We
see.
have
Okay.
to
Three, two,
adapt.
one.
Yep. Okay. So now you know more about me. And if you're interested in looking
Absolutely.
further,
Wait.
you
Stop.
can
Okay.
look on my YouTube channel. But Payman and I have really talked about how we've been so fortunate to find our way through life. And we know that it's not accidental. We know that we have help that we
Absolutely.
can't see. We know that other people come in when we need to be in
Hmm.
community, and big fast change is coming at us, whether it's good or bad change or difficult or joyous. So that's it. I just shared that little bit, and that you asked me to share who I am as a woman, and I think I did.
Uh, we Nothing is random. We do find our way in life, and if you look at it at single events, it may look like completely unrelated. But if you look at it from a higher perspective, everything is connected. And if you were to me, you, or anyone in this world were to look at all the major events of our lives, put it on a board, it would be like a linear. Everything, what you did at one point A, prepared you for point B, point C. Nothing is absolutely unconnected. Even though if they may seem completely unrelated, you may have had change of careers, change of path, or whatever. You had to restart from scratch. But it's
Yes.
all related. It's all a progression. It's all a journey. It prepares you for the next stage.
Yes, that's actually what I was reflecting on today when I wasn't doing anything, was I was really remembering moments,
Mhm.
particularly interesting moments, because I'm talking about how 30 seconds can change your life. And I have lots of examples of that. And so today I was almost like my insights were taking me on a river rafting journey to those connective points where a very random thought or a new idea or a
Mhm.
comment from someone else, or just listening within and really observing and listening without to what other people were in, had to say, wanted to do, all of that. I think this 30 seconds concept, because we don't really recognize it. It can happen so fast. But sometimes it's those 30 seconds that pop you onto that, or do the snap. This, I call it a snaps, that pop you onto that next thing that you're going to follow through your life like a breadcrumb. There's one, leads to another one, leads to another one. And then you're just living. It's interesting because I found so much of my life has been not intentionally,
Mhm.
but it's been lived without fear.
To I know it's a lot easier said than done to realize that those breadcrumbs are not randomly. It's for us to realize and understand what they truly are and what they just like, for example, when we're kids playing in the woods, games, you leave clues as to guide you where to go, where to find your path, your way. Same thing here. Follow the little signs, post stops, or
Yeah.
whatever breadcrumb, whatever hints, whatever you can find. And the challenge for us is to realize that, hey, these are not isolated events. They are all related at the at the uh, bigger. No, when you reflect on that in that way, it's really fascinating. It really reflects you, just like you're saying earlier before we went live. It takes us on a journey of, what is it? Internal skydiving.
Yeah. Yeah. Inner
You know,
skydiving.
and it's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, some people talk about the hero's journey and they talk about the climbing the mountain. And I think all of those analogies are really powerful, or the water river journey. But I think when we're on those inner journeys, we actually incorporate experience with all of the elements, with air, water, fire, earth. And then to find this internal sense of, yes, I have felt sometimes really like the full free spirit of a bird that's just woo, 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 which could be compared to inner skydiving. And the thing is, Payman, I think you have to notice when it's happening.
Hmm.
You really have to notice. Otherwise, you miss it.
Absolutely. Absolutely beautiful. I love that. And I've been also a lot lately, well, lately, since the last, I would say, a couple of years, more and more drawn to going inside, going within. You know, one thing that I understood that has been
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit.
life changing for me, transformational, transforming, has been to listen to that voice. Yeah. Is it better now? Ah,
Yes, it's
okay.
better.
Yeah, so it's been listening to that voice, because some of the most life-changing decisions I've taken have been as a result of me listening to that voice. You know, society tells us to suppress that voice and seek for guidance to experts outside. But yeah, it's good. We have all the information, all the realize that and get back in touch with us. And that's what's gonna really open our eyes and guide us.
Yeah, because then that makes how we're in relationship with other people a very different kind of an experience when we're able to allow ourselves to stay present in that way with
Mhm.
whatever we're experiencing. It's always such an opening. It just opens things and it closes off things that
Abs-
we don't really need anymore as well. So
Absolutely.
I'm just fascinated by that. I spent the last couple of decades just allowing this in my life, just allowing and allowing and allowing, and to now be on the edge of,
Mhm.
I have a new place where I can take the gifts and the insight and the understanding and the skills and the capacity that I've built over many, many years into a new
Mhm.
space that I think because of the pandemic, we're in a new world, whether we want to acknowledge that or not. We're in a new
Absolutely.
world. And so I'm looking at
Mhm.
how can I have continuity? You know, the old saying, don't put new wine in old jugs or no jars or skins. Well, I'm an old one, and yet spirit keeps giving me new. And it's like, well, how do how do I keep my wineskin flexible and ready to accept the new? And what does that require me to
Mhm.
do? And to look around me and see where I can bring compassion and empathy and information and energy healing and some wisdom, a little bit of wisdom. And
Mhm.
how can I be a leader with a heart, as we've talked about, in what is now a very,
Mhm.
very new and different world? Very challenging, but very new and different.
Mhm. Yeah. You mentioned that you've been on this journey, on this path for 2 decades. What was the catalyst? What was the trigger of it? Was it a specific event, or was it something progressive crescendo that led you toward that path of self reflection, getting back within understanding, get in touch with yourself?
Well, 30-second moments led up to the Big Bang, and I had a really big
Mhm.
bang, unexpected. I was very unhappy in my personal life,
Mhm.
delighted with my children, delighted with my profession, but really unhappy with the relationship that I was in. And that's one of the reasons that I was happy to do a keynote speech or talk on this domestic violence awareness, because I've been through that. And it's very debilitating. It's incredibly emotionally devastating and destructive. And I had reached a point where that part of me just was like, you have a choice. You can find your way through this. We'll be there to help you as we've helped you every time before. What's your choice? And my choice was to stop asking why of the other person in the relationship, but to really begin to ask what's going on in here, and let's deal with that. Let's heal that. Let's do it in a way that's not going to feed fear or more drama or more chaos. But I really felt at that time in my life, I was so frustrated and I felt so alone that I really had a moment. There was one moment where I felt both suicidal and both murderous rage. And I stood, you want to talk about a moment. And I just took a breath and I went, oh, this is not me. Okay, got it. And I grabbed my car keys, ran out of the house, got in my car, drove down to a river, quiet space, and sobbed my heart out, asking for help. There was nobody there, just me in the car, sobbing my heart out, asking for help. And I let all of that buildup of whatever nonsense that was move out of my energy field and brought myself back to center and went home. And I had made the decision that I was going to find a way to leave that relationship that would be safe for me, safe for my two children, safe for the person that I was going to discontinue being in a relationship with. And then I took those very beautifully felt steps on how to do that, still being empathic, compassionate, incredibly generous, and just keep bringing it back here, never bothering to ask why of the other person, always asking, what was I choosing? What was my why? And I made it through that, and it was a really, really profound series of events. And then it took me into a retreat. I needed a break, went for a week. I left my partner with the two kids. I'd been working daily copy in a service industry. I said, I need time. And I went to this retreat, and it took 30 seconds for everything about me to be completely and irrevocably changed. And it was an energetic experience. And I had no expectation of it. And I came out of it a completely different human being with a lot of more energy because everything had been cleared out that had been blocking me before. And what was interesting, Payman, was I drove to this experience, and it was a 7-hour drive from where we lived. And I had set my 7-hour drive, set my cruise control, beautiful in the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia. And after this tremendous experience of this dramatic shift in everything in all of my energy field, I'm driving home. I didn't recognize anything. I stopped once because I thought I was lost. And they said, no, you're exactly right. You're fine. I didn't recognize anything. Same route home, same speed, 50 miles an hour. Payman, I got home in 4 hours, not 7. So something had taken me out of the time matrix. And yeah, I don't talk about this very often, but then I had to come back.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, it was really extraordinary. And I had to adapt. Still in a body, still in this body, having to adapt. And it was quite the journey.
Wow.
Yeah. So since that time,
I'm speechless. Yeah.
Well, I didn't mean to do that to you, but I've been, that's a 3-hour time difference out of the matrix. And then coming back into a particular time and space coordinate, my house, my children, my job. And then having to incorporate all that had changed for me, incorporating all these new skills and gifts, and no one to talk to about it.
And that led you on the path that you're now.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Yeah.
beautiful. Wow. So many questions come to mind that I don't know which one to ask first, but so let's move forward. So tell us about what you're working on now, and how has this evolved from that moment to now, and how has that been the build up? Tell us, and then we talk about what you're doing now.
Energy, it's all about energy. Everything is energy. Everything comes from energy. Everything begins with energy.
Absolutely.
Energy is always conscious. It's always in
We are
relationship.
energy.
We are energy first and foremost and
Yeah.
always. And
Yeah.
so once I really kind of understood that, then it was, how do we use energy in relationship, in consciousness, in community, in healing, in compassion, in empathy? How do we bring that forward and do it gently or not so gently sometimes? So, yeah, I mean, I think once you understand that your energy, that gives you a whole different instrument, life instrument to play. So, yeah, so now I'm still in the area of energy and relationship, but now I'm looking at, can I help anyone else in the world? You know, I'm all about prevention as well as full healing. Can I help
Yes.
people who've been through the pandemic, very confused, social structures all akimbo, all fractured? Could I help any number of people be in a position of preventive use of their energy so that they are moving forward, always aware of their wholeness, not getting trapped in energetic dynamics of chaos and drama and trauma and violence? Why don't I go for that? This feels like a good time to go for that. So that's what my deja vu dating is about. It's like, let me help you recognize the red flags. You've got to pay attention to you. You have decisions to make about you. Let me guide you into what it feels like and looks like when you make that transition. And you discover that it's not selfish. When you're being merciful and you're not sacrificing yourself anymore to something that you don't understand, that has a very, very strong possibility of hurting you, damaging you emotionally, damaging you physically, even bringing on disease, right? That's what I'm doing with dating. Yeah.
Wow.
And the rest of it. Young people need a little wisdom right now.
Powerful. Powerful.
And it makes sense. I mean, I can explain it. And I've developed a 5-day
Absolutely.
challenge, which is coming up. And then I have another
Tell
program.
us a little bit more about the 30-second principle, because that's a very powerful principle.
It's so, once you go, he's gone now. I'm the host. Okay, Payman, come back. I'm going to wait for you to come back. Oh, it's okay. We're good. We're good.
I'm
For
really
all we know,
sorry.
don't apologize. This could be
Okay.
the 30-second principle in operation right now.
Okay.
Just, right? You're on the brink of something with your new book. You're on the brink of something in your community. You've got a birthday coming up.
Yes.
You've got you're going to be closing in on 300 episodes of your podcast. You've built all kinds of connections and relationships. And what if just this little chat is where we agree that there's going to be 30 seconds of something new for you that just sparks and pops and takes you on a continuation of what you're doing, but expands it, helps it grow? Why not? So the 30 seconds in here. It's in here, and you just have to notice it. It could be a very simple stray thought. I'd like to.
So what do you do?
Go ahead.
So what do you do for 30 seconds? You just relax, quiet your mind, just like a fast meditation for 30 seconds, or you just appreciate count your blessings and what you're grateful for. So I'm really interested in that because this is something I've been really going deep into that. So I want to go very deep into that because I want to understand it and practice this in my own life. This is why I'm really keen on learning as much as possible about this.
I have found the place to begin is acceptance of exactly what is happening now. Acceptance.
Mm.
Full 100% acceptance, whether you like it or not. Because then you're present. And when you're present with your entire whole self, that's when those 30 seconds appear. And it can be a momentary flash of feeling. It can be a simple idea. For me, after my big life changed, I just had this one thought. I'd really like to work with burn patients. There was no conscious, rational mind reason for me to think that. But that was 30 seconds that changed, right? From 30 second to the next, following those moments of it's simple, it's clear, you're not doing a lot of thinking, you're feeling, and you're present to your entire self. Gratitude.
Beautiful. You know, that reminds me, have you heard of, I'm sure you may have heard of Abraham and Esther Hicks.
Yeah. Sure. Who hasn't
They have
heard
one of the
them?
most, yes, the 17-second principle. Hold a thought for a second in your mind. Obviously, a positive thought, something that you're looking for to achieve. And before you know it, your mind brings you other supporting, thoughts. And if you can keep that for 3 rounds, so basically like 67 seconds, that's when the magic happens. You get into the zone, and before you know it, basically, this is a principle of all the geniuses from Mozart to
Yes,
Sir
it is.
Isaac Newton to all of them, to Einstein. They were able to tap into that unlimited wisdom genius of the universe
That's what my
to
TED
create
Talk
their.
is about. That's what my TED Talk is about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
17 seconds, tapping into your
No, it's
own.
still 30 seconds, and I'll tell you why. Because in 30 seconds, when you breathe that in, you're engaging your entire 15 chakra energy field. In 17 seconds, you're only dealing with energy flow in your embodied chakras. So it's not full, and you could end up focusing on an idea or a principle or something that you wish for instead of something that more fully, beautifully develops you. And so the difference of the 30-second principle is that it incorporates all of your entire energy field, not just half of it. And that takes some training. But the goal is to let the energy be the seed. Let the energy be the seed that sparks the 30-second process of it becoming alive in your awareness to the degree that you have opened up a portal in time and space for everything to cooperate with you. It's not magic, it's physics, it's math. To cooperate with you to bring you to the intersections in time that are part of here it is, do this now, go here now, talk to this person now, say yes now. And it's really gorgeous.
Wow.
It's not magic, it's physics. It's energetic and spiritual physics.
It's magical physics,
People have an interesting use of the word magic, but when magic is brought into the conversation, magic can also be misleading. Magic can be hurtful. Magic can be destructive. Magic is a mixed bag. Spiritual physics and energy and the math of your wholeness doesn't include any of that.
Indeed. Wow, powerful. How are you implementing this in your business? Is this one of the pillars that you're teaching
Yeah.
in your business?
Yeah. I have an extensive program. It's a year-long program. Deja vu dating gets you to open your perspective, your lens of what it is that you're actually
Mm,
going through in relationship. And then you can then get 3 keys to go deep. And I take people through a basic program of what's going on in your life, and then that moves into
mm,
learning about your energy field, getting you familiar with your entire energy field, all 15 chakras, your entire structures. Then eventually you have enough energy and you started to clear out enough of the gunk that we all carry around that you can go into my longer program, which is your story or your life. I take people through the exercise of
I love that.
let's talk about God. Let's talk about your definition of God, and is that yours or is that something that was handed to you? Let's talk about money. Let's talk about time.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. I have a very comprehensive program of all
mm-hmm,
things, the foundational moments and building blocks that all of us go through. And sometimes it belongs to us, and sometimes it was never ours to begin with. And how do you find that out? So I take people through that journey. And so they're ending up, their story is one thing, but your life is a living, energetic, present, beautiful
mm-hmm.
creation. Yes, Mozart. Yes, Einstein. Yes, right? It's when you free not the genie in the bottle, but the genius in your body.
Tap into it. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. Powerful. Wow. Tell us more about the deja vu dating. What is the genesis of that? What made you start this
It's
program?
it's a very common thing that people do, and it was something that I was aware of in my life, where you are in a situation, you're going out on a date or spending time with, that doesn't have to be just confined to dating, but it happens in dating a lot, where you feel there's a really strong attraction. You hardly know the person. Um, it's usually a sexual attraction, but it charges your emotional body enough that you're intrigued. And then
Mm,
you have a moment where you feel like, wait a minute, how can I be having a memory of this when I've never been through it before? But you're experiencing a memory.
mm,
And that's the deja vu experience, where you're in something, it's live, it seems to be a present moment, but some part of you has been triggered in, wait a minute, haven't I done this before? This feels this feels like I've done these, could be 10 seconds. Something sparks your memory and you're going, there's something a little bit not quite right here. If I'm having memory and I've never been out with this person before, or we don't really know each other yet, what is that about? And so it can become a pattern in people. And this is usually true for empaths and people who, because they're empaths, fill in the empty space of what's not communicated consciously. They function like the immune
mm,
system of our collective. They're filling in the space of what wants to be healed, but hasn't been spoken. And so when you're deja vu dating, you're in that dynamic where one or both of you are feeling that there's a healing potential, but it isn't conscious yet. You can't articulate it. And you're in this experience of not being fully who you are in truth, transparency, and trust, and neither is the other person. And now you're caught in a cycle. And it's the empath and the person who tends to overgive to fill the space. If you don't come and meet me in the space, I'm going to fill it. And I'm going to fill it in a way that hopefully I'm filling it with love, because we all carry this
mm-hmm,
little memento that love heals all wounds. It doesn't. But it's a belief that a lot of people carry. And so with deja
mm,
dating, it's like, don't get sucked into the belief that your love can heal anything, anyone, any person, anytime. None of us are that powerful. Healing with love it's a community project. It takes you, another person, and the third energy that I call source. It's really a beautiful dynamic. But I've talked to so many people who hold the belief either it's something about magic or it's they've been trained that if they love enough and they're willing to sacrifice themselves for love, it's going to turn out okay. That is not true.
Mm.
It's a hard one to face. So it's preventive medicine, however, if you can really get to that point where you can really understand that there's no requirement for you to sacrifice yourself, ever. Ever.
Mm.
It's not required of you. Life doesn't require sacrifice. It actually requires mercy and compassion. And it requires generosity. But it doesn't require sacrifice.
Mm. Beautiful. You know, when you said deja vu dating, when you meet someone for the first time and you feel that you've been with them before, you get memories. Could those memories go back to maybe previous lifetimes that you might have been with that person in different lifetimes?
Absolutely. And that's why understanding your entire 15 chakra energy field system lets you go and locate the full packet of information. So that instead of repeating a cycle with someone that didn't work out, you have the information and you make different choices in the relationship that are good for both of you. And neither one of you ends up being sacrificed. And you can end up being really good friends, but maybe not romantic partners, or maybe not husband and wife, or wife and wife, or husband and whatever it is. Doesn't matter, right? You are free to choose what's going to happen for you now and clear your records. Clear what some people will call the Akashic record, which is kept in your energy field. Clear that record. Start fresh. Start new. But do it with energy, compassion, and generosity for the person you're having those memories with.
So your program, in a way, is allowing people to look at dating from a much higher perspective, to really connect at the deepest level of the person, not just for the sake of just physical intimacy, all that, or short term, but something much deeper that might even go deeper, way deeper than this lifetime, maybe to connect someone that you might have had, you know, been together in past lives. That's beautiful. How do you, in this beautiful world, this vast world, how do you connect the right people together? Because is that something that they're magically drawn to each other, or is it something that you help them identify certain trait and aspects of the right person that they might have
Yes.
had history, so to speak, in the
Yes.
past? So tell us about that, because that's
Well,
fascinating.
it's a sorting process. And the way that I've organized my year-long program, it's a sorting. We go through literally most categories of human life, including our primary family relationships. And when you go through these areas of your life with really good questions and you're open to listening to the answers, those 30-second moments just come and come and come and come. And then you're clearing out, making room for the choice of, in this life right now, where is the most of your wholeness? Where is the best of what you have to share? Where is your greatest vulnerability? Your most powerful transparency and sense of trust? And how do you bring that into relationship? Maybe it's been with someone that you've been before in other lifetimes, and it's been fabulous. And like okay, we're going to do this again, and we're going to continue this journey where we've been fantastic together. Or you discover, oh, okay, I remember that too. And this is where I'm going to be empathic, compassionate, and generous and release you to your new. With my heart, feeling glad for what you're going to discover. As a friend, as someone who understands that you have more growing to do And I do too. And it will be the most beautiful and productive thing for us to do that individually and not together. And that's okay.
Mhm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes, yes. See, okay, so I see. So you help them first do an entire assessment of their own
Yes.
on themselves, help them get in touch with their own soul source first, so they can raise the vibration, the frequency to attract the person that is meant for them.
Yes, and to clear all of the information in memory. It's such a beautiful sorting process. And as people do it, they have more and more and more energy and clarity. And I use the analogy of a kaleidoscope when I teach a lot, because if you look at a kaleidoscope, you're holding it, your eye is looking through it, and you see all these beautiful fragments of color. And that's one design. And then your curiosity is sparked and you want to see a different design. And so your hand turns the chamber and the mirrors, it's all about mirrors and colors in there, generate a new design. And it's just as beautiful, but it's different. And so when we do these kinds of deep assessments, what happens is we begin to realize that we are the entire structure. We are the kaleidoscope. We are the mirrors inside of it. We are the colored bits of information that form all these gorgeous patterns. We are the eye that sees, and we're the hand that turns. So that's an experience. It's a really easy analogy for people to get a grasp on. When I'm fully being myself, I'm not just looking and observing passively. I'm participating. I'm part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The assessment part is really gorgeous and it's incredibly liberating.
Absolutely. Do you also help people with overcoming any hangups, any past issues that they might have had from previous relationship, like for example, trust issues or
Sure.
fear of abandonment, or all kinds
Sure.
of issues that might have
Absolutely.
that?
We go through these step by step. We go through these emotion by emotion. I connect all of that information to your entire energy field and individual chakras. And there's more support for that than you can imagine, because I've developed a holistic product that actually functions, just going through the skin, reaches into the emotional body and releases patterns. So that's part of that program. Everyone gets access to that. But it's joyful because when you're living a 360-degree life, that includes imperfection. It includes mistakes. It includes turning yourself around and being lost for a bit. All of that is part of the full 360-degree life experience. So we don't separate out the parts that are challenging. We embrace them. We get the energy from them. We get the wisdom from them.
Mm-hmm.
And we allow the body to heal and the heart to heal and the soul to heal and the relationships to heal. Or we release whatever is not really in the best and highest good for us, having been willing to look at it all and feel it, feel all of it. When I tell you that day when I was both suicidal and feeling murderous rage, that was one of the most powerful days of my life, because I knew that I was able to feel that. I didn't have to act on it, but to feel that energy is just as extensively important to your develop as feeling the joy I felt when I first held my first child, the joy I felt when I got married. Those things are part of how we grow and develop. You don't want to be a lopsided Joe. You don't want to have everything perfect, always in control. That's you end up in a very static place living that kind of life. And yet people do it. They grasp onto things, they grasp onto money, they grasp onto property, they grasp onto possessions, and then they can't let them go.
The ego.
Yeah, and we know from people who are trapped in hoarding dynamics that their identity becomes so intertwined with their stuff that they can't separate who's me and who's my stuff. That's tragedy.
Yeah. You know, one principle that I've been learning about lately, ego on the side, but going through the ego death. You know, that's something that's because the ego is the moment we die, the physical body in this lifetime dies, the ego dies, but the spirit, the soul continues eternal. The ego is akin to just the script you receive, the personality you're supposed to adopt in this lifetime, the role you're supposed to play in this lifetime. That's all it is. You know,
The
for example,
license plate on your
yeah,
car.
yeah. I'm supposed to be a man, you're supposed to be a woman. This is what role you're supposed to play. It's what I'm supposed to play. And that forms our ego, and that's it. But once, so to speak, the source that is left behind, just like the actors at the end of the stage, they go behind the scene when the curtain falls. They remove the clothings and then the costumes, and they adapt another role. All the actors in a movie. Hey, one film you can be a villain, another one you can be the good person, the good guy or the good girl. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. The moment
Yeah.
we understand that, truly, that's liberating. But the problem is we've been so brainwashed into that. It's so that for us the ego is our identity. You know, and it's very hard to anytime someone questions that, you feel offended at your deepest level. Say, no, how dare you say that? You know?
But the ego will write more than half your story if you let it. And when it's busy writing your story, you're losing your
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know, the story we tell ourselves, that's exactly what affects how our life pans out, because it's not what happens to you, but what you make of it.
Yeah.
And that's where the ego comes into place. Fascinating.
The ego death is an interesting experience because when you're going through it, you really do feel that a part of yourself is actually dying. And it is. It is becoming unassembled. All the elements of it are becoming, they're not necessarily being destroyed, but they're becoming separate little bits that don't hold together anymore as one clearly defined identity that you have gotten very accustomed to. And that's, the acting analogy is great because the really, really, really talented actors bring everything to that. And when it's over, they let all of it go.
Yeah.
Quite masterful, really. It's work though. It's work to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
that
One specific
level.
example, for example, let's say you're attending. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Let's say you're attending an event and you're supposed to spill your heart out and talk, and then the host or whatever is telling you, share your story, but don't try to what is it? To influence others. Just share it in a very objective way. You're not here to give advice. Just share your story from that perspective. You know, the unawakened version of me, if, for example, I went to a men's circle event in person in Kuala Lumpur, one of my dear friend, he hosts men events, and we had a topic about traumas that we had growing up with parents, challenges we had growing up with parents. So each of us, like 15 men, complete strangers, but it was such a beautiful event that we all shared stuff that we never shared before, you know? And my time came, I shared my story, and then I started to, it's what I do on the podcast all day, try to influence, and not influence, but try to give my views and my perspective, and also give tips. And the host was saying, no, don't give don't give advice, just share your story. If it was the previous version of me 6 months, a year ago, I would say, how do you dare that? I say what I want to say and I'm about to blow up. How do you dare? It's stopping me. This is my story, not yours. Just shut the front door. Let me finish. That's what the previous version of me would have said. But now, putting the
Yeah.
ego on the side, say, okay, what does he really mean? Let me actually follow what he says. It's not easy, Anais. That's very hard to do. You know,
Yes,
to
it
have
is.
someone tell you, hey, don't say that. This is wrong. Instead, stick to the guidelines and stick to be objective or whatever. I think this is the first time that I actually really experienced that, to really put the ego to the side.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it's very liberating. It's very liberating. It's a beautiful experience. You go from rage, literally wanting to grab the guy by the throat and punch him, chill down. I didn't know back then your principle of 30 seconds. I just say, okay, chill down, take a deep breath, just follow what he's saying. I did. And I felt incredibly, like almost like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. At the
Right.
end, I went and gave him the biggest hug. Thank you, brother. Thank you for opening my eyes and my heart.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we help each other. And it takes a lot to say yes to that, because it puts you in a now moment where you've never been before, and you only have that
And
moment to be present and stand on it. You don't have any past thing that you can stand on.
that's incredibly. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Incredible. Incredible.
But to keep
Tell us more about.
what?
Say, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Let finish.
No, I was just saying,
Sorry.
the continuity of your body is an
Mhm.
anchor, so
Mm,
that you have a frame of reference when those 30-second moments happen, and you're invited into a shift, or you're challenged into a shift, or you fall into a shift. The body anchors that in time and space, so that you can grow and integrate and expand your consciousness with
mm.
that experience. So the relationship that you have with your body in those moments is super powerful. And to feel it, like, I want to strangle you, don't tell me what to say. Don't
Or
do
stopping me midway track my sentence,
right.
try to shut me
Oh,
down or censor
yeah.
me. Yeah,
Yeah. So that is also incredibly liberating, because then your body is getting the message and giving you the message. The best place we can be is present.
Mm. Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, that's beautiful. You know what? After this call, I'm going to reach out to that guy and thank him for giving me a glimpse of what it is to really put the ego to the side, because I think that was the first time in a long time, if not my life, that I was actually able to do that without blowing up, without
Mhm.
by just surrendering. That's exactly what I did. I just surrendered.
Yes. Yes. That's the acceptance.
And
Okay.
I went from rage to one of the most beautiful, peaceful state I've ever been to
Yeah.
in a matter of just maybe 30 seconds, 30 seconds, from rage wanting to attack the guy to, wow, big Zen. I wanted to thank you. My soul was telling him thank you, not just my words or my
Yeah.
brain, but my soul. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's life-changing
I'm gonna reach
stuff.
out to him. I'm gonna reach out to him after this call. Yeah.
Okay,
If I could
cool.
post this now, I would send a message right now, but I'm not gonna disconnect this call. No, no, let's go. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. Wow.
You're
Now, tell
welcome.
us more. Tell us more about the structure of your program, the details. How is it? How? So you said it's a year-long program journey.
It's a
Is it?
year-long program. We go week by week and segment by segment. It includes interactive dialogue. I can do these either with a group of people live, which is tremendous fun, where we meet live over the course of the year. We might meet live once a month if it's possible, but we can do this way as well. And they're just clear markers. We're going to talk first. We're going to start with your idea of God. We're going to start there, and we go through every bit of the building blocks of what we think of as the human experience, We go through your childhood. We go through things that happen in school. We do a thorough assessment so you can see where you've been shut down, why that happened, how that happened, the damage that it did to you. And then in that moment, we open that back up. And you don't have to stay shut down in that way. And when you do that over enough areas of your life, suddenly you are in a whole different playing field. Whole different playing field. And it happens gradually, and it happens with big moments and small moments, but you're supported in the group community dynamic the whole way. And I'm there to hang on to you if you start to do some internal skydiving without a parachute. And then it is such an opportunity to bring it into your body, integrate it, and see what comes next. And be ready to say yes to it.
Absolutely. Say yes to yourself. Say yes to.
Yeah. So I'm restarting this program. Yeah, I'm going to start it again in the week of October 22nd. I'm opening it up to a new group. And that was part of the reason that I've been doing the Deja Vu dating and trying to get people just to touch these places and see, oh, wait, I could be doing something very different here if I want to pay attention. And then to do, with the summit talk, I'll share that talk with you because I'd love to have your feedback on it.
Please, yeah.
Open that up and have people recognize the 30 seconds and then have them track that and go, oh, wait, I get this. And then to feel like there's a much bigger space and a different playing field for me if I choose to stop sacrificing myself, show all of me some mercy, and come into this where I'm going to have an opportunity to do all the little ego deaths and all the damage that was done at home, in school, in college, whatever, and just come to new, and move forward from there.
Like a new birth.
Yeah, it's neat. It's really neat. Good stuff. Yeah. So if people are interested, they can reach out to me. Payman can let you know where to reach me.
How long have you been offering this program?
Excuse me? We're starting in October because I have two small holiday breaks to consider. Like it's your Thanksgiving now in Canada.
Oh, this is the first group. Okay.
Well, this is the first group for this coming year. And then we're going to go through and we'll end. I think I have our end date just before we move into 2025. And then we have an opportunity to go on an international retreat together if people want to take that step. So, yeah. Good stuff.
Beautiful. Oh, absolutely. What's the website for that?
I'll share it with you. I'll send you the information and then you can include it. Okay. This recording isn't going to go up. Tell me it's going to go up after your birthday, right?
This is going to go out. Yes, I have about 20 episodes in the queue.
Yeah.
So it's going to probably go out in about a month or so.
Yeah. Perfect timing. So it'll be like a little birthday.
But if you want, I can bring you in to do a live just a day or a couple of days before the launch to help you promote your event. I mean, your program. I will gladly do that for you because you're a dear friend of mine. So
thank you. Yeah.
Any shape or form I can help you with, I will do that for you.
We can build community around it because it's the kind of moment that will have connectivity points in many different areas of people who are doing beautiful, healing, compassionate work in the world. Why not include them? Why not include the people that they're working with if it's the right thing for them? And they'll know.
Yeah.
They'll know. So yeah, let's you and I continue to talk about that. I'll send you the information, and it's always so much fun to speak with you and have you holding down this kind of vibration where you are in your part
Absolutely.
of the world.
Love talking to you.
Yeah, it's really, really, really great. So is there anything else you'd like to ask,
Yes, yes, yes,
or are
yes.
we done?
Thank you. Well, you tell me. You tell me what else do I need to ask you to make you shine and to make people fully understand the power, the transformative, and transforming power of your program?
Well, there's that program, but I do want to mention one other thing. In my local community,
Please.
we have,
Mm-hmm.
as in many communities around the world, there are, because of these issues that we're discussing tonight, there are moments where people lose their way and break into violence, interpersonal violence. And so I'm looking at using a new, very safe technology that was part of the summit that I was just in to bring it into community groups where I live, to have a safe space for people who've been impacted by gun violence, whether as a victim or whether
Mm-hmm.
as a perpetrator. They can come in anonymously. You create an avatar, you come in, you're in the safe space. And so I'll be working to bring that into the community that I'm in locally, and working with some other organizations, because Living Lessons Library is a nonprofit organization and people can donate. And I can also connect with other nonprofits, and we can do this work together in our communities. And it also gives me an opportunity to bring the full healing. If you're in that situation and your body needs healing, I'd love to help you.
Love that. Love that. All right. And if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Best way is to just tap me on my email, and you can, I don't know if the chat's active, but it's just Anais, that's ANAIIS, all lowercase, at livinglessonslibrary.com. And then we can pick up and see if there's connectivity and take it from there.
All right, beautiful. So Anais at livinglessonslibrary.com. I'll put it in the show notes.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Thank you for coming and sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your beautiful insights. And yeah, thank you. Always a pleasure talking to you.
I didn't expect that
Um,
this is where we were going to go, this talk, but that's what the 30-second thing is all about. Just go for it, accept it, and say, yes, let's do it.
Absolutely. Say yes to adventure, to
Mm-hmm.
spontaneity, and, just go with the flow,
Yeah.
with no expectation, see where it takes you. That's what I like doing, And
Thank you.
yeah, and as I always keep saying, don't skip, never speak from a script. Don't even speak from me, but speak from here.
Yeah.
If you can see it, when you speak from here, that's where the magic happens. That's where you can really connect at the deepest level, heart to heart, with the person you're talking to. Not just as your business, but even
Mm-hmm.
your friends, family, relatives, loved ones, whoever. Even the cashier at the store.
Yeah.
Everybody. Speak from the heart. That's where the magic happens. And this
Yeah.
is what you're doing. I salute you, Anais. You're a true leader with a heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world. Can't wait to hear and listen to your TEDx talk. And I am super excited. And I can't wait to read your story about your gifts on volume number 2 of my
Yeah.
book. So I'm truly
Thank you,
honored for that.
Payman. Thank you. And it's always a pleasure. And thank you for your generosity of spirit. You're so open, and it's just gorgeous. So thank you very, very
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It takes two to tango. I'm just the host. You're the star. You're the star, and it's all about you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's in about today's at 9 here in the morning. So
Yeah.
yeah, in about 8 days,
Happy birthday.
9 days. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. We'll talk until then, and we'll talk. But anyways,
Okay.
listen, Anais, I salute you. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world. Your presence, your impact, your wonderful and contagious smile and laughter, and your gifts. And remember, you are a gift yourself. So God bless. Talk to you very soon. Take care, my friend.
Okay. Back
Bye.
at you. Bye-bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.